Here's the morning commute for the week. Give her that quick start up. Good morning! Today I have for you guys a Harley Davidson Sportster Iron 1200. And I'm not gonna lie and say I haven't always wanted a Harley in the garage. I have. Now recently I got to ride a Harley Davidson Street Bob. It was freaking awesome. I loved it. I'd say the annoying part with it would be the price point, but the Street Bob was ideal. It was probably, it's almost like the Street Bob was perfectly designed for my height and size. It just fit freaking perfectly with those mid controls and the nice upright bars. But that's not what we're here for. Obviously, we're here for this Sportster. This is a more economically friendly purchase. It is a good beginner bike if you're wanting to start on a cruiser like a Harley. And this one being a 1200 instead of the 883, you at least have enough power to grow into and enjoy the bike for a long period of time. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go over some things I like about this motorcycle. We'll talk about some basic specs. Then we'll talk about the upgrades that are specifically on this bike itself. So stay tuned. This will be really fun. We'll get some freeway tests in. We'll get some back roads testing in. And we'll see how we like it. So let's talk about the engine that's in this thing. 1200 cc's, feels like it redlines around 6,000 RPM. And what I've really noticed with this motor is the torque is about mid-range. Where do you really want to be in this bike for it to ride comfortably and enjoy it? I've noticed in between 3,000 and 5,000 RPMs is really the ticket. Anytime I'm going below 3,000, it starts to lug pretty good. So the optimum riding range for this bike, I'd say, is above 3,000 RPMs to really not have it lugging on you. But for power, yeah, it's definitely got enough power to have a good time. Like I said, if you're a beginner, it's not be too much motorcycle for you to handle, but in 6 months you're not going to be bored going, oh, this thing doesn't have any power. It's got plenty. You're going to have a good time on this bike. The next thing for this year model that I thought was really cool was the fact that it had these little mini apes. These are like prime perfect to me. They're just barely under my shoulders. My arms are stretched out just right. So as for the seating position, I am 5'10". What I would say about this motorcycle is, not to say that I'm uncomfortable, but I would say where the pegs are positioned, my legs are at over a 90-degree bend. If I started doing some long hauls on this bike, I probably would get some knee pain out of that. This is a little bit lower to the ground. It is definitely a considerably smaller bike, but hell, like I said, if I just put the dang floorboard slightly forward to like a mid-control, I would be freaking happy. This would be perfect to me. This is the right position to enjoy longer rides and make your commute to work fun and enjoyable. I mean, if you think you can't come out here on back roads and have a good time on a Harley, you're crazy. There's definitely tons of low-end torque to just kind of pry your way out of a corner. There's quite a bit of clearance on this bike. I don't see why you couldn't get down there and drag them pegs pretty good and have some fun. Oh! Gone are the days of those low handlebars and spending all your money on trying to soup up your freaking Sportster to make it badass. This thing already is badass. One thing I will say is it does have only 5 gears. And with that little short RPM range and how to enjoy riding this bike, in my opinion, like I said, I think you need to be above 3,000 RPMs. So you are constantly shifting. But in between that 3,000 to 4,000 RPM range, it does feel very, very nice. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to say that I don't feel the rumbling in my heels that are touching the bike. I can feel this motor moving, shifting, shaking. That really is kind of part of the nostalgia, right? It's freaking badass. It feels cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Another thing cool that I'm not used to is on Harleys you have the turn signals on each hand, so each thumb can hit right or left turn signals, and in addition to that, they automatically turn off. So if you just hit the right turn signal, and if you want it off, just hit it again. If you don't, just leave it. It's going to shut off after like 15 flashes or so, which is really cool. As for how the bike rides, the feel, the sound, of course the heritage and nostalgia of a Harley Davidson is always cool. It's just a fantastic bike to be riding, you know? I mean, you can't say you can't get out here and have a really good time on a Harley. This thing's pretty damn nice. Still have fun out here on these twisty roads. Great motorcycle to ride, honestly. Finally got a decent rain out here, so everything's starting to look green, beautiful, and everything. It's fall, so everything's dying, but yet all the grass is growing. It looks freaking awesome out here. Let's give her a little beans. Definitely not a slow bike, guys. It gets up, it goes. You're definitely not going to be dying to get another one if this is your first bike. You're going to get quite a bit of time out of this thing, and there's so many modifications you guys could do to this thing. It's crazy. You don't have to go with Harley. You could go with aftermarket parts and find yourself some pretty inexpensive, awesome upgrades for this bike. It's a pretty slick little bag too. It's from Amazon that he got. I'll link that down below, as well as all the parts that he's put on this bike, just in case you guys like them and you're interested in them. A lot of it's from Harley. He's still waiting on the he's got the Screaming Eagle pipes on here, but he's still waiting for the end caps. They're stuck out on a boat somewhere probably. But super nice. This has been a great week. I'm enjoying the hell out of riding this bike. I would love to have this in my stable. Got a fantastic sound to it, very comfortable feel. Like I said, my only real negative with the ergonomics of it is my knees being pretty dang bent, but that's also a fix too. You could just get some forward mounts if that's really a main sticking point to you. But if you're a little bit shorter than me, you'll probably be fine on it. Probably won't even need to change the foot pegs. But so another thing to mention that I'm not exactly fond of on the bike, which apparently is pretty common around on Sportsters in general, and that is the suspension. The suspension's pretty much, well, it's terrible. It's very, very stiff, very firm. You feel every bump. So if you've got a bad lower back, it might not be something great for you. Now, I could say, depending on your body position, I've learned as I've rode throughout the week that instead of just laying back into the seat, you know, maybe you lean forward just a tiny bit, just a hair, puts you in a little bit better position. It takes the strain off the lower back where I was feeling it. Now, a lot of that has to do with whether or not you want to push the controls forward or backward, depending on where you want to sit, how you want to sit while you're riding the bike. I always just thought, well, it's got these, you know, high bars, I'm going to just lean back and ride, you know. But yeah, no, that's not the best position on the bike at all. So a little bit crouched forward, using a little bit more abs and a little less arms to do any work to keep you up, it's a nice position. Alright guys, this is the final and last test of the motorcycle. What is Freeway like? Well, let's give her hell. Definitely got plenty of get up and go. Oh yeah. So we're riding at what, 75-ish right now. We're at 3,500 RPM. I would say that is a pretty good spot to be. The bike doesn't feel like it's working its ass off at 3,500 or so. Hell, I mean, really at 80, the bike doesn't even feel like it's working its ass off that hard. With it being only 5 speeds, that's pretty freaking good. It doesn't feel like you're not going to enjoy freeway riding because you don't have that 6th gear. So another thing to note, I would say, is this little front fairing is actually pretty badass. I don't feel my chest being shoved back. I really kind of expected in this position of a Harley where you're basically a freaking wind sail that I would feel more from the wind, but this little fairing does a pretty damn good job. I can feel it on the top of my helmet. I would say if I was probably not a full face helmet wearer, that maybe you'd take a little bit more wind. For me, like 80 miles an hour on this bike, it feels freaking great. So freeway riding, yeah, hell yeah. This thing's got plenty of power for it. Even though it only has 5 gears, it still feels really good. That front fairing that the bike comes with is friggin' awesome. It definitely does more than I had expected it to do. So I think if you were really just commuting this bike on the freeway, this would be legit. It is comfortable as hell. I don't feel like I'm getting shoved back on the bike, which is awesome. So yeah, hopefully this review, guys, was helpful for you. I appreciate my buddy letting me borrow this thing, and hopefully you enjoyed riding the R7 for a while. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.